I'm back. I hope this is working. I hope I set my settings correctly. It's been a while since I streamed on a channel that's not my own. Make sure if I'm live. Hey, it looks like I'm live. Okay, a few things to do before I jump into the games. First thing is to wait for people to arrive. And sometimes it can take some time for viewers to trickle in. And I am multi-streaming to Twitch and YouTube. So I have both chats open. I know people in the YouTube chat they were chatting before the stream went live, asking why they can't send me a challenge. Yeah, I have to update my settings. Here we go. Okay, as long as you have a Lichess account, you can send me a challenge. Oh, getting a lot of challenges. Wow. Okay, nice to see. Over 25 challenges so far. Um, I'm going to use this challenge extension, accept random challenge. So I see a lot of people in chat. Welcome to all the new people. If you're new to the lichess.org channel, I'm also kind of new to it, at least new to being a streamer on it. I think last time I streamed on this channel was the 960 World Championship qualifiers. So the plan for this stream is basically encompassed here. I'll be playing people in 3-minute blitz. So if you're going to send a challenge, 3-0 only. That way I can get a larger number of games. And we do have the challenge link. If I click this, it probably gives me some error. Oh, I can challenge myself? Really? No. Really? Okay, I'm not going to play myself, though. Okay, I currently have 50 pending challenges. Let me take a random. Hey, thank you, I am Rosen, for the raid. Shout out to I am Rosen, who I don't think was live when they sent the raid, but all raids are appreciated. And here we go. I hope the layout looks okay. Playing Feluzitas. And I'll mix up the openings. Maybe I'll take some opening suggestions from chat, but maybe I'll just do my own thing. Try and make this fun and instructive. And I got to start with a Ponziani. This is a go-to pet opening of mine. Opponent is clearly prepared. This is one of the most dangerous lines in Ponziani. Bishop e6 probably coming. And then I think queen d5. There's some theory here. And all the theory I'm forgetting, so... Oh, what to do? Take on b7 or take on e5? I'm not prepared for this, man. I have to remember what to do. I think it's take on b7. Take, 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 and then some bishop e3. No, but bishop e3, there's takes and rook b8. It's good to see my opponent slow down a little bit there. Bishop e3 doesn't quite work, it seems like. I wonder maybe bishop g5. Provoke f6 and then move back. Then there's cases of black castles. I have queen d5. I'm impressed Black knew exactly what to do, at least the first 10 moves. But I think we're out of mainline theory. Okay, let's make it spicy. This might be really bad. So after takes rook b, I'm going to lose b2. The hope is that after queen d5 takes bishop c4, this is how bishops move, then there might be some counterplay. Yeah, welcome to everyone in chat. Good to see some familiar names, some new names. What a crazy game to start the stream. What's material? I have knight and bishop for rook and 3 pawns. But I'm trapping the knight in the corner. I think, I hope. Knights connect. The king can always move back if necessary. A king's enjoying the free world. So now I have 3 minor pieces for rook and 3 pawns. It's a super rare material imbalance. I think it's okay. As long as I'm not getting mated. Like, there's still some concerns, but I feel much safer than a few moves ago. Yeah, and for people confused about how this channel works, basically the Lichess.org channel has a lot of different streamers that stream on it. Maybe people are used to seeing John Bartholomew. Last few days, there's been this match between Harika and Zhu Jiner, with commentary from Irene Sukandar. So lots of different types of content on this channel. Okay, this rook is about to get trapped. But maybe not. Maybe it's I want to play knight c4, but that's not legal. So perhaps I have this move. Idea knight d3. Okay, now knight c2. So I'm basically trying to hug the rook with my pieces. It is a season of hugging. And then, yeah, now I have 2 minor pieces for 3 pawns. And I'll start trying to win some pawns. Oh, I missed knight b6. Knight b6 would have been the icing on the cake. Ooh, connect 4? No. Okay, good game. Faluzitas. Yeah, that's a super sharp, crazy opening that I haven't looked at like probably in a few months. With every game I play, I'll probably analyze a little bit, try and share a lesson or two. But I mean, for anyone who plays e5 as black and enters this position, and especially for people that don't know what to play against Ponziani, this line with knight f6 and then knight e4 and then bishop e5, it's really sharp and interesting. It's almost a refutation to the whole Ponziani. Usually it boils down to who's more prepared and who can really sift their way through the chaos. So yeah, let's check in the master database, because this will usually indicate the theory. Queen d5, knight f2. We're following the theory. Rook g1 is more popular. I took on b7, which is also playable. Take, take, take. Bishop g5. So this has been played 4 times in master level games. But the engine already prefers black. Rook b8, queen d5. And somehow... Oh wow, bishop c4 was a blunder because queen b8. That's a really hard move to find, allowing queen f7. But I guess the idea is black is getting counterplay, and the king will find safety. So I think next time, like if I enter this line, I should play rook g1. Rook g1, castle, and then take on b7, and queen f6. I think it's white who has to kind of try and equalize though. Knight a3. Anyway, fun game. Thanks to my opponent. Welcome to more people in chat. Welcome to Mitchell Reddim, Blundergoat, IDK. Hello to people on YouTube. We have Jasper. I don't have time to say all the names in chat, but good to see people here. If you want to challenge me, you can send a 3-0 challenge. Looks like most people are following instructions. And we do have the challenge command, I believe, in both chats. And I'm just taking random challenges, trying to have some fun games. Playing Nick Saban. We've played before. I'll mix up the opening. I'll play d4 this game. And yeah, generally the best approach, because there's such high demand for challenges, just send a challenge and be patient. If you ask in chat or beg, then it doesn't really help in so much way. But I'll try and get through a bunch. This stream will be at least 2 hours. So queen takes c5. This is a playable line. Queen b2 is like the more critical line. I'm starting with a3, which is still preparation. The idea is to play b4, c4, expand while hitting the queen. Okay, black prevents b4, but doesn't prevent c4. The goal is to open the file and target the black queen. Yeah, I have no preference between rated or unrated games. So this is a rated game, which means, I guess for rated games, I will try and take a little bit more seriously, or at least try and manage my time and look less at chat. But it's completely okay if people want to farm me. Farming can go in both directions. So I'm leaving tension between the pawns. I'm not sure if I want to take, or I'll probably just leave tension. Yeah, so I'm going for like optimal piece harmony here. Essentially done with development, entering the middle game phase. And the problem for black is this bishop on c8. Doesn't have the easiest development. Bishop d6 is a good move, because now I don't really have bishop g3. I can take. Looking for ways of taking and using X-ray vision along the D file. Maybe I'll take and play queen c3. Some later idea of like playing e4, e5. Okay, black is the first one to play e5. Now the bishop can develop. c5 doesn't quite work. There's some interesting ideas here. Take, and then I'm considering knight c4 after knight takes. Although that would lose a rook. Never mind. Okay, let's play queen b3. And now knight c4. I like the knight on c4, hitting the queen, hitting the pawn. But ooh, okay. So if takes, we just trade queens. But I have this move, which I think my opponent just overlooked. Oh no, black's queen. And now no mercy. Could give back my queen, but I was thinking take and get 2 rooks, but I'd rather hold on to the lady and take a pawn. Oh yeah, for people in the YouTube chat, I'm not sure if there's a command. Yeah, unfortunately I'm not a moderator on YouTube, so I don't have any ability to update the command. I see it's set to John Bartholomew's account and not my account, but maybe I can share the link. If you're watching on Twitch, you can easily access the link. Okay, idea rook d7, eventually targeting g7. Another idea to play queen. Yeah, this is mate in 2. Okay, good game to Nick. Yeah, my opponent, I mean, just as it seemed like black was solving the issues from the opening with the bishop, like got an e5, I think that was fine. Played bishop e6. Just realizing I could have taken on b7, although it does look a little bit risky. Oh, queen b7. Yeah, queen b7 is best because it hits a knight. Yeah, maybe it's already like tricky for black. Knight c5 or knight c4, and yeah, black's under pressure. Yeah, generally, if you play into this queen b6 line, queen b2 is the objectively better move, but it requires a lot of preparation. So there's also a line where you can take first and then queen b6, and then you don't have to worry about pawn takes pawn. So again, feel free to send a challenge. You can do so with the link in Twitch chats. I did share the link in YouTube chat. I hope that went through. Or you can just go on Lichess. I think I have over 50 pending challenges. People can see this challenge number here. I don't know if it's capped at 50 or it just displays the first 50 and then there's probably more. So let me try and get through some more games. Playing Polish Hussars. Okay, I'll keep mixing up the opening. I've been white the first 3 games. I'm not sure if people are challenging me to play black or if it's just a random color algorithm being on my side. So English opening is one of my one of the main openings I play in over the board chess. I like to play this a3 line, which isn't the most common, but it's tricky because the main idea is to like take advantage of a bishop develops to c5. I could play d4. I think I will play d4. And then b4. I'm already threatening to trap the bishop. So it only displays top 50, but the rest go through. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, there used to be a time where like there was no cap, and there were times where it passed like 100 pending challenges. Oh, YouTube doesn't allow links from non-moderators. If there's any like Lichess admins watching, feel free to make me a moderator on YouTube, or just update the challenge link. It's very rare that I multi-stream to Twitch and YouTube, because Twitch usually doesn't allow Twitch partners to multi-stream. But it's nice to hopefully try and cater to both audiences. So this game is going very nicely. Opponent essentially gave me a piece with taking on d4. And now I'm going to try and use that extra piece to attack. Knight is pinned, Plan is to play bishop d3, pinning the bishop and trying to attack on the diagonal. I'm really tempted to play knight e4 here. I'm also tempted to take and just go crazy. I'll keep it simple though. This is a responsible move. If queen takes, I'll trade queens, play knight e4, and then win some more material. Question from PLDKD in Twitch chat asking essentially how to draw arrows in circles. Yeah, you can't do so on mobile, but if you're using a mouse, it's just right-clicking. Right-click and drag, or just right-click on a square. You can make different colors holding down a combination of Control or Shift. Control? No, not Shift. Control Alt or Alt. Yeah, so a few different color options. Yeah, there's some useful keyboard shortcuts to know on Lichess as well. Like F will flip the board. Also pay respects. When you're in Lichess study, I'm pretty sure L will like toggle the engine. Black is holding on to the pawn. I want to play knight b6 and okay, now knight c7. Just going for trades. I'll blockade the pawn. That's important in the endgame to use the king as well. Going very deep into the endgame. I think the goal is to make a passed pawn on the king side and gradually advance. Or maybe get the king to win d6. Very tricky. If I play this, rook e5, I'd lose a bishop. I'd still probably be winning there. Let's start with king f4. Okay, black resisted for a while there. I think the main takeaway in this game is probably like earlier stage of the opening. This is playable, but I think it's already uncomfortable. Like black. Wait, why did I not play c5? I missed my chance to play c5. I was even like mentioning my goal was to trap the bishop. I think I just assumed black would play a6 or a5. Oops. Okay, that was like a double blind spot from both of us. But yeah, white's threatening c5 here, so black should play a6. And I should have played c5. But then after takes, I want a piece for a pawn. So the main point I want to make in the opening is that after a3, the bishop shouldn't really develop this way. Like there's too many issues. And it's better. Okay, d5 is one option, but my recommendation would be to play g6, bishop g7, and play a more kind of closed kings Indian setup. I would normally play g3, bishop g7, bishop g2, castle, castle, and then d6. And this is really solid. And black has pretty good piece harmony. And then later ideas of like knight d7 and knight h5 and f5 and get the pawn storm. Okay, we'll move on. Accept random challenge. Playing win time. This is a rated game. What happens if I lose to someone rated 1600 points below? I wonder if there's like a capped amount of rating you can lose in a game. Good luck to my opponent. I'll give a little bit of time Sometimes people will challenge me and then like step away and forget. But okay. Um, D4. Let's play what I normally play. Ooh, it's a London. I'll play C5. I usually play knight f6 first, but C5 is a very direct idea. In this case, it just transposes. The idea is to very soon play queen b6 and target the b2 pawn. Start with knight c6. This is my go-to setup against a London. It looks like a reverse queen's gambit. Never scared of this move because then e5 can win back the pawn. And knight d2. We're still following some like high-level theory. Nice thing about bishop f5, it prevents bishop d3, which is a main London developing square. Okay. I'm pretty sure we're still following like some Kamsky game. Kamsky, one of the OG London players. Okay, so because white traded, there is a plan here to try and make progress on the queen side. I'm trying to figure out how it works, so I'll just start with e6. Long term, I want to play c4, b5, b4, and get a pawn storm rolling and try and induce some weaknesses in white structure. As a question, no Budapest crying face. Yeah, you can't really play the Budapest against a London. There's certain openings where you do need your opponent's cooperation. Maybe I could have played England Gambit. England Gambit is like an anti-London opening. But I'm trying to be a good role model, at least in the beginning of the stream. Play some more reputable openings rather than completely dubious lines. Ooh, okay. So we trade on c6. Want to play b5, not just because it gives me a pawn diamond, but yeah, b4 is still an idea. And it's actually a really nice structure. Like double pawns have a reputation of being weak, but having double pawns in the sense, it's very comforting, very solid. White might want to go for e4. Okay, I'm going to go for b4 here. I'm trying not to waste too much time. So if takes, and the bishop finds a very nice home on b4. If castling, then I'll take and play bishop a3. So it goes for e4, trying to destabilize things. Now there are 3 attackers, only 2 defenders. But if I take with pawn first, I lose a c-pawn. Not entirely sure. Like, and if I win a pawn, my structure actually isn't that great. So I'm more leaning towards just bishop g6. I'll leave tension. Takes. A solid structure remains. e4, I think, was a very nice pawn sacrifice. Now, I think it's very likely that time will tell the story in this game. White's leaving the pawn hanging. Okay, I'm going to start by taking and then play bishop a3. Keep leaving tension. I want to play bishop b2. And yeah, with rook b1, now I can take. attacking the bishop, but also threatening e3 to attack the rook and the knight. And yeah, this is where the gift giving begins. Or more like the gift receiving. I think white played a very fine opening, though. Of course, kind of crumbled in the time pressure. But even after... I mean, after e4, I shouldn't be too much for choice. Let's see. Oh, engine wants me to take. I didn't like taking because bishop e2. Ah, knight d5. So I didn't realize I could exert more pressure. Yeah, I guess from white's perspective, it was a solid position. Knight e5 was maybe not the best use of time because it took 2 moves to trade off the knight. And in general, white should focus on completing development. And it's actually nicer to play bishop e5 and then prepare knight e5. So good game, win time 1, 2, 3. Oh, this is still in the realm of like top level GM games. Yeah, I'm at mercy of the random challenge algorithm. So there's a broad range of players challenging me. And we'll keep it going. Playing Tafine. Good luck. So I played e4, d4, c4. I mean, let's play a Polish. Things get a little bit more dubious. But Polish opening, it's one of these openings that, I mean, it's usually played with intention to just get something that's not too theoretical, get the opponent out of their comfort zone early, and just play chess. I'm going for a double fianchetto. Now there's also b3. Like b3 is probably a little bit more popular than b4. Now b4 it does grab more space. If knight c6, I'll already have b5. Can still consider b5. I think I'll play d3. This move is played for a few purposes. For one, I want to develop the knight to d2, where it doesn't obstruct the bishop. And I'm also preparing c4 and just go for the queenside expansion. I'm debating what to do with this knight because there's knight f3, there's knight h3, there's e3, knight e2. Yeah, I'll start with knight f3. Going after the bishop. Yeah, it seems like I kind of strengthened the structure for black. Black now has 3 center pawns. But I do value the bishop pair in the long term. And hopefully I can demonstrate why the bishops can be preferable. But I'm still kind of in the improvement phase, like still trying to get the pieces to their optimal squares. Rooks want to comment at some point. Ooh. Yeah, this is a blunder, I guess for a few reasons. Or maybe it's like a deep sacrifice that I'm not seeing the point of. But yeah, I mean the c6 pawn is pinned and now the e6 pawn is also hanging. So I think that was an oversight from my opponent, not realizing the danger along the diagonals. Oh yeah, b4. It's also known as orangutan, like a monkey type opening. I think there's some story that like at some point there is this orangutan that was given a chessboard and made a move, and it turned out to be b4. I'm not sure if that's a true story though. Maybe it was a Polish orangutan. Life is good here. 1 2 pawns. Got my bishop pretty well cemented in black's territory. Put the rook on the open file. There's some plan of knight f3, knight g5. Okay. There's another plan of smother mating. I think my opponent's going to flag beforehand, though. Okay. I think I'll give my opponent a little bit more time because I want to get this move in. But how to do it? Rook f6 is kind of annoying. Play this move first. I just want to smother mate. So now rook f6, I mate. I have knight g5. Get ready for it. Don't flag. Okay, I don't get my smother mate. I wanted the I wanted queen g8, knight f7. It's a good game to fiend. Just to show this, like if let's say black takes the pawn, then this is a cool mating idea. Oh no, my queen, and then knight f7. Um, yeah, I mean black was solid in the opening. Like I think the structure is okay. But then it's like one sort of self-destructing move, and sometimes blunders will happen in the early middle game just because players don't quite know what the plan is. And sometimes it's just better to slow play. In this case, especially in this case, black should keep the pawn chain against the bishop. Maybe go for something like rook e8, understanding that I was trying to pressure e6. And then maybe there's a plan of expanding on the king side. Maybe going for d5 eventually too. Anyway, let's keep it going. This challenge list will probably never end. So playing another random challenger. This time we have casual blitz against Stair 30. I'm really just cycling through the openings. I guess I'll play b3 this time. This is my 5th game as white. So b3, e3. I believe this is called the Nimzo Larsen. It's a more modern approach of playing, like using the minor pieces to attack rather than putting my pawns in the center early early on. Now I don't really know the theory. Like f4 is probably a move, but I think I'll be a bit safer and play knight e2. But I still want to play f4, so maybe now's the time. Hey, the YouTube command is updated. Thanks to the mod, low pair. Ooh, thanks to my opponent. I'm gifting a pawn. Yeah, I mean, this is one of the main things that black has to watch out for in the opening when you play against b3, bishop b2. I wonder if f6 was a better choice there. Like sometimes when your opponent fianchettos, it makes sense to make a pawn chain against that fianchetto. I know f6 doesn't have the best reputation, but there's times where it is called for. Yeah, I think I'll make an effort to keep mixing up openings in the stream. Like every game so far has been a different line. Could take the bishop. Take the knight. I'll take the knight and play queen g4. And now, like queen g8 almost wins the rook, but there's bishop e8. So first I can take. Wait. Okay, my rook is hanging, which I just realized. So if I win black's rook, I lose my own rook. I'll start with knight c3. I'm looking for ways to like try and make progress quickly, but I think this position just requires a bit more patience. And castling. Point of castling is to connect the rook so my knight's no longer pinned. And the plan is probably like knight e2 to d4 or knight takes e4. Yeah, I will try and play a Stafford at some point. That's definitely on the bucket list. I'll take. Yeah, hopefully soon we'll see the power of two rooks over one rook. But the first step is to open the file. So queen d2, I believe it's made in 3. Ooh, rook is pinned. f5. Okay, now I want to get the pawn to f6. Oh no, my pawn. A nice little tactic there. Yeah, I think the quickest way to win is to make another queen. I'll create the most mating patterns. No mercy. Well, that's not mate. Do I not have mate in 1? I don't have mate in 1. Where's my mate? Oh, b5 checkmate. Okay. Got the pawn mate. Thanks for the game. Yeah, I think black just didn't realize the danger. Like when I play f4, this pawn's pinned. I have a feeling f6 is the best move. Let's see. Might be other choices like queen e7. Ah, this is interesting. Queen h4 to h5. Looks a little bit strange, but the queen stands nicely on h5. Oh, this is also a move. Look at this move. Pawn takes pawn, give away g7, and then queen h4. And black's actually winning here. But how is black winning? f3. Wow, and takes bishop h3. That's actually really cool that black can willingly give away the pawn. But the difference with e4 is that there's no great counterplay because g3 or knight g3, you need the pawn to be on f4. I'm also wondering, can I play f4 here? So this is a little bit different. Like this is winning for white because because my knight prevents f3. It still looks scary, but yeah, I'll be winning the rook. Okay, we move on. New opponent. Playing Luo PZ. Ooh, highest rated opponent so far. 2176. Casual blitz. Maybe it's time for... It is time for Stafford Gambit. We'll see how well my opponent is prepared. So f3 is one of the best moves. And it's one of the top engine moves, but it's a move that it's not so easy to play if you don't have so much experience in it. Because it opens up this diagonal, and there's still a lot of tricks and traps. And okay, white actually just stumbled into one of them. I think white was intending d4, but in this line after takes, check, g3, I'll take on e4 and win the rook. And the reason for playing bishop e6 first is that after queen e2, there's no longer a pin on the e-file. I can show this more clearly after the game. But bishop e6 is a really nice like wrinkle in this line. I first became aware of this move from none other than Vampire Chicken, Jonathan Trance, discovering Stafford theory. So I think my opponent's realizing the danger and now has to cope with the position. G3 is I think a fine move. Now I probably just have to move back. But yeah, I won back my pawn. Bit more development. C5 looks nice. I'm just going to try and undouble the C pawns. Trade on d4. I don't think white wants to take, as in take, and I have so much development. Bishop e3. Considering knight d5. Knight d5, bishop f2. I still want to play energetically. I feel like this is somewhat of a interesting moment to decide. I think I will play knight d5. And then take. So bishop takes, white's like essentially using a lot of time to move the bishop. I was thinking c5, but now I'm realizing bishop e5 is an annoying move. So we might see queen takes d4. Yeah, I can't quite get away with bishop c5. Okay, I'm going to sack the pawn. If bishop takes g7, I have rook g8. I insist on white taking the pawn. I think we'll see bishop f2. White wants to be solid. And go for the attack. How to do this? If I play bishop e7, I lose c5. I really want to play h3. Also take on g3. Let's start with h3. Alpha 0 style. White's still resisting. Queen e7. Gotta move a little bit more quickly here. Take, take. Okay, let's play queen e7. So it defends a pawn. Oh, it's turning into a time scramble. There's no increment. I gotta move a bit quicker. Play b6. Okay. I was close. GG. Um, yeah, my opponent fought back after kind of stumbling into one of these Stafford traps. But I'll just share the opening details because it's a little bit tricky to understand. But after f3, the move that Black wants to play immediately is knight e4. And this almost works, but it doesn't quite work because White has a nice defensive move, queen e2, pinning the queen. I can't take the rook. So after bishop e6, it obstructs e-file just enough to threaten knight take e4. And yeah, white played c3. There's two common mistakes here, which happen to be the two most common moves on Lichess. d4 and c3 both walk into knight takes e4. So the better move is like knight c3 or queen e2 or d3. These are the top. Yeah, if white knows to play these moves, then white should be objectively better. Of course, it's still tricky. There's still some pressure, but yeah, it's a nice nice line to know for black, for the Stafford Gambit players out there. Question, what does black do after d3? Yeah, after d3, I think knight h5. Bishop d6 scores weirdly high, but only based on 7 games. I think knight h5 looks nice. Idea. There's actually a double idea with this, both queen h4 and also f5. So white will usually have to play g3 and then maybe bishop c5 or f5 to continue. Okay, next game. I'm going to still try and mix up the openings. Playing very high rated opponent. This is rated blitz. I haven't played knight f3 yet. I saw a request earlier asking for Catalan, which maybe I'll try and go for, like c4. Go for this setup. But this is more of a King's Indian. This... I feel like there's some theory here that I don't want to enter. So I'll play knight c2. Just trying to avoid theory. And rook b1. I'll admit I'm completely out of theory, but I have some idea b3 bishop b2. Never mind. Excuse me. Yeah, this opening is nothing to sneeze at. Even though I just kind of sneezed. I have some allergies. But I want to play b4. Ooh, black wants to hurt me. I still play e4 here. I mean, the idea usually is like bishop h3, knight g4. So have to be really, really careful. Bishop g4 looks playable, then f3. Now knight e3. I'm doing my best to defend. And knight d5 first. Nice thing is I do have a bit more space. Like my center pawns are further advanced. I'm trying to get a bind on black's position. And b4 now. Some idea bishop b2. This is a one inactive piece. And I would like to trade it off for black's bishop. Have to be careful. Take. Have something like rook b3. I want to play this move. It's going to get crazy, though. Oh, there's knight f6. Knight f6, rook d1? No. The a4. It's already getting kind of tricky. Knight's very close to being trapped. Like, there's a line takes. Knight here, rook d3. Oh, rook d3, knight comes to c1. So I have to play this. But I'm losing a4. I have this move. How to do this? e5. I gotta move quicker too. I'm in some trouble here. The idea is to play knight d4. And yeah, I wanted to prevent b5. Problem is, if I played b5 myself, there is knight c5. Nice move. And this move? Doesn't really work though. Oh no, my pawns. Still fighting, kind of. Uh-oh. Wow, that's forced mate. Wow. Oh, opponent doesn't mate me though. I'm still getting mated. Dole my knight. Dole my other thing. I was hoping for knight f3. Well played. My first loss. Oh no, my rating. Yeah, Black played a good game there. Like I thought it was okay, and even I guess A4 is maybe a mistake. There's a really cool idea. If I play Rook D3, then Knight E2, King F2, Knight C1, forking the rooks. I'm also losing A4. Like, okay, it looks like Rook A1 was a better option. Earlier things were nice. But this is the thing about King's Indian, like it's a nice counter punching opening. And once I lost a pawn, I think things just went downhill. Yeah, Knight C3, very nice move. Yeah, this is a cool force mate. This is just mate in 3. I have Rook B1, but I'm getting back rank mated. Okay, we move on. No more clean score. But still, every game has been a different opening. I'll try and keep the theme with mixing up openings. I've played way more white games than black games today. Okay, I'll give my opponent a little bit more time. Mochalex, if you're watching, our game started. Maybe they're deciding what opening to play, but maybe not. Okay, I think I'll abort. Yeah, generally, if you're going to challenge, you do have to keep an eye on the stream or keep an eye on Lichess. Okay, just a cheese player. Good luck to my opponent. Let's play G6. I feel inspired from the last game to play a King's Indian, mixing things up a little bit. I usually don't play this as black, but it's I'll play F5. Oh, let's stay with somewhat normal territory. Yeah, it would help to know some theory here. I think E5 is a move. Bishop G5. Yeah, the issue with developing the bishop G5 with a pawn on G3 is, well, I can't easily play bishop H4 because then G5. And I'd be happy to trade on F6. We might get some initiative. But I'm trying to be solid here. And there's currently 3 attackers on the pawn. I wonder if that was a mouse slip. Maybe not. It's some interesting pawn sack. But I'm holding on to D4. And C6 is coming very soon. Okay, going for A5. Or going for A4. A4, Queen A5. Yeah, for those not familiar with, I guess the lichess.org Twitch account, every so often they'll do the series. It's called Lichess Plays, and I think John Bartholomew probably does it the most. But there's a lot of different streamers that hop onto this account to play viewers, and yeah, this is my first time doing it, so it's been fun so far. Nice to kind of cross promote with the lichess.org channel. We are live on YouTube and Twitch. I usually stream like 99.9% of the time. I do stream on my own channel, but mixing things up today. And if you want to, I guess I'd encourage people, if you're new to this channel, give a follow and catch future editions of Lichess Plays. A lot of other streamers and title players do this sort of content. I'm realizing this position is not so simple because my bishops are a little bit inactive. I have rook a3. Okay, that move I like to see. Even though there's pressure against the pawn, play queen c7. It'd be really nice to get in c5 and then have a defended pass pawn. I almost didn't see the free knight. Okay. Good game, just a cheese player. Yeah, I assume this is some theory. I actually don't know like any specific theory here. A d5. Yeah, d5 is maybe a bit more principled. And then it goes into more mainstream King's Indian structure. But white can also leave tension, I assume. Like e4 is a playable move. E4 maybe not the most common. H3. Yeah, bishop g5 is very rare in master level play, probably because of h6. Okay, we move on. Playing Gigi Lamore. Good luck to my opponent. Yeah, we're reaching the point where there's probably a handful of people that challenged me like an hour ago when the stream began, never canceled their challenge, and then maybe stepped away. I don't know why there would be a reason to step away from me, though. I feel so lonely now. Okay, let's abort. New challenge. Playing Mamali. Here we go. Okay. Let's mix things up. I'll play c5. What do we call this? Old Benoni, Benoni Gambit. Oh no, my pawn. So e3. Okay, now I'm playing a reverse Queen's Gambit. I feel like I've tricked white into playing something they're not used to. Because white's committed to e3, the bishop can't develop so easily. And this is, I guess this resembles a collie. And generally, the way I like to play in such an opening is to trade on d4 and then put the bishop on g4. And it's kind of like a reverse Queen's Gambit exchange variation. Very simple plan of developing like this. Still play bishop d6, offer the trade. There's a lot of different openings that can result in the structure. This is known as a Carlsbad structure, where one player is missing an e-pawn, other player is missing a c-pawn. So it's a little bit imbalanced. I mean, I usually play this a lot, but with reverse colors. But also having the black pieces where I'm the one missing an e-pawn. And there's different plans for both sides. I'm going to complete development. Like a very common plan, in this case for black, is to play b5, b4, the so-called minority attack. Because it's a 2-on-3 minority, and I'd like to induce some weaknesses. Now, if I play b5, there's knight c5. So there's another idea of just putting the knight on e4, getting some activity. That control c5 also enables pawn f5. Maybe I'll go for some stonewall setup. Interesting. I want to punish this move, but I think it's a pretty effective move. Could take and play f5 and then f3. So I think I'll just take and move back. I didn't want to trade the knights there. Oh, now white wants to play this move. Okay, I'll move back. I'll see if white wants to repeat. Maybe I will trade a pair of knights. It's a very positional game. And these positions can take a lot of patience. Yeah, let's go for the trade. b5. If I get in b4, then I'm going to disturb the pawn chain. And there's also ideas of knight a4, knight b3. Let's start with this. Yeah, trying to target the weaknesses now. And not only the pawns, but also the c4 square. And white has to be careful. Like queen c2 would run into knight a3 with a fork. So it's a question, do I concede the b file? Do I leave the tension? I think I should leave the tension. Or maybe, no, I should keep rooks on the board. Yeah, just conceding the b file. Because this pawn is going to be a long-term target. Could even trade knights first. And attacking both pawns. Not actually threatening to take on c3 because of back rank issues. Now queen a4. Yeah, it looks like I'm winning the pawn now. Threatening the pawn now. Now that there's no more back rank issues. Still have to be careful. We'll take with a rook. Allowing rook b8. Ooh, tactics. Okay. I think that was a decently instructive game. Like, shows the usefulness of the minority attack. I mean, we did a little bit of dancing around with the minor pieces. But going back to even this moment, like when I take here, I'm already anticipating the long-term idea of playing b5, b4, and making progress on the queen side. It took a while, but like after the trade, it's hard for white to like avoid all weaknesses because white either has to allow me to take or takes, and then the D and B pawn are weak. So that was pleasant. Good game to Mamali. Moving on. New opponent. Playing. I would try to pronounce his name, but I don't want to hurt myself. Let's play a Scandi. Really haven't had too many games with e4 today. I had that one Stafford gambit. I'm trying to make up for John Bartholomew not being live on this channel. Gotta represent Team Scandi. So this is actually a pretty common mistake I've seen a lot of players make where they trade on d5. It looks like an innocent trade, but it favors black because now the queen is dominating the center. Not so easy for white to contest the center. I'll start with e5. Not too often that black can grab like the early space advantage out of the opening. Like usually it's white grabbing the early space advantage, having the first move. So now we have an opposite side castling position, which generally calls for like attacking and more sharp play. Debating like between g5, g4. I think I'll just start with king b8. Generally a very useful move. Queen d7. But yeah, eventually the g pawn wants to participate. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll just win the d pawn. And that was a drawback of c4 is leaving the backward pawn. Oh, I made someone in chat very disappointed. G5, G5, G5 says you have to play G5. There's cases where I'll have a plan, but then things change and then that plan is no longer useful. So G5 will hold off. Yeah, more useful things to do here. There's a comment saying, there's a comment in YouTube chat. Yeah, I have both chats open. Hello to Shyamando. Says that I missed 95. Not sure. Maybe after the game I can go back. I played G6 to prepare F5. I can't remember any white pieces being on E5. But maybe I missed an illegal move. Yeah, this traps a bishop. No mercy. And white is still pretty paralyzed. Hmm. Here's a cool idea. Trying to like figure out how it can work though. There is en passant mate potential. Now it's probably unlikely. I was envisioning like, that's not gonna happen. Okay, let me go for the mate. After the game, I can share a line where there could have been an en passant mate. Wait, how does it do this? Check. I have an idea. Oh no, my bishop. What a happy ending. This is why I didn't play g5 earlier. I had to preserve it for g5 checkmate. I hope you're happy now. g5, g5, g5. Okay. A nice finish. I mean, when I played e4, I was envisioning, or no, when I played knight e4, I was actually envisioning some funny en passant mates. I can show the line. Um, I was imagining takes, check here, 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 and then let's say like b4. I played g5. G5 actually sets it up, and after it takes. Oh wait, it's not en passant mate because my knight blocks a rook. Ah, yeah, I don't know how I would make it work then. I was gonna say here, here, here. This is just en passant check though. Oh wait, I don't need the knight in. I can just take. No, here, here. This would be en passant mate. I was miscalculating. So g5 would set up in this position. Anyway, okay, I think I should move on, or maybe I should address the question about knight takes e5. Ah, from white. So in this position, knight e5 doesn't work because I take and I pin the bishop. And then later, I don't think knight takes e5 works here because I take first and then take. Knight e5 might work here though. Yeah, knight e5 is actually a cool tactic. And I think it works here. It's actually a nice one. The point being, my bishop's attacked. So if I take the knight with anything, I lose a bishop. And if I take on e2, knight c6 comes with check, and then white wins the pawn in every line. So nice spot. So I could have been worse, actually. Like king b8 was a blunder. I put my king on the square where it's exploited tactically. So better was like this, or yeah, bishop e5 is probably a better choice. Okay, new rule of thumb. Yeah, never play king b8. I mean, the general rule of thumb is like if you're going to play a move, look for the opponent's tactics before you actually play that move. And sometimes you need to have some sense of danger. The king was on a more checkable square. Okay, new opponents. Playing Ujdid. Played once before. What move have I not played? I haven't played the Grab. I think the openings are gradually going to get more crazy as the stream goes on. C6 is a move. Yeah, opponent wants to win my G-pawn. I just want to make things crazy. Wow. Okay, I'll play this. So b5 I can take on b5 because of the pin. Queen d4. I'm already kind of regretting my choices in this game, but we still have kind of a unique, fun position. Gonna try and win back the pawn. Queen a6 will defend it. Or queen b4. So there's knight e5. Yeah, this is just getting crazy. Now e4. If bishop moves back, I take and then win back the pawn. And wow, what is this move? Okay, let's take and what's happening? What is this pawn structure? I think I'll take on c4. d5 is defended. Crazy position here. There's a cool idea, which I think I can make work. d6. Allowing bishop d6, but then a3. And now the queen is tied down to defending the bishop. And after b4, I think I'm winning the bishop or the queen because there's no safe squares to move to keep the bishop defended. Some people were excited that g5 was coming, but yeah, not quite. That was a crazy game. Winning with a Grob in 14 moves. I'll admit I don't know too much Grob theory, but usually when you play the Grob, it guarantees a weird position from the opening. It guarantees a weird position after the first move. Fun fact as well, I'm pretty sure the Grob is the worst possible first move according to the engine. Like more so than any other move. We can't quite check easily, but I mean after G4 engine says minus 1.7, which is crazy because that's basically the equivalent of being down almost 2 pawns. A4 is only minus 0.2. You would think F3 is bad. It's minus 0.8. But Grob is like, it just gives black a clear target. It's funny, after H5, black is for choice. Minus 0.4. F4 is a bird. F4 should be close to equal. Minus 0.3. I'll share one tidbit of opening prep. If I'm black and I play against a Grob, I've probably shared this before at some points on my own streams, but I have 2 moves of preparation. Basically all I know from the black side are 2 moves, but it's enough to know how to meet the opening. Really, you just have to know 1 move and then know some arrows. But the 1 move to play is e5. And I'd say probably more common is d5 to go after the pawn, but the cool idea with e5 is after bishop g2, the plan is knight e7 to g6 to h4. And it's actually a really hard plan to stop. Like once knight g6 is played, knight h4 happens. It's really annoying for white to like figure out what to do with the bishop. So that's my Grob prep. Only been played a couple times in master level play. On Lichess, knight e7. Nice thing about this line too, it's pretty uncommon. So hardcore Grob players might not even know about it. And yeah, black scores well here. Anyway, moving on. Playing Itoshu. Okay, good luck. Opponent from Scotland. All right, so I played the Saffron Gambit. I played the Scandi. I haven't played the Sicilian yet. Let's play the Sicilian. Ooh, Smith Mora. Okay, I'll accept the Smith Mora. And I'll share a bit more preparation here. I'll play a line that I've generally been happy with over the years. I'm starting with e6, because usually white wants to put the bishop here. And now there's no direct attack against f7. And the line I like to play combines this setup, queen c7, and then knight to f6. Now bishop e3 isn't the most common, like usually people castle. And bishop e3 actually gives me a target with knight g4. And I think knight g4 makes sense here. Just aiming to trade on e3. There's also sneaky ideas of hitting h2 if white's not careful. Queen b3. And taking immediately looks fine, but I would kind of like to keep the pressure. Like maybe I'll play a6. This is actually a really cool trap if I can set it up. I play a6 preventing knight b5, and I'm realizing I just allowed bishop e6, which I probably should not have allowed. Okay, now I'll take. And bishop c5. Yeah, this is looking nice. As I'm up a pawn because I accepted the gambit and I have initiative. A castle. I just missed knight a5. I just missed knight a5. I was too excited to complete the opening. But knight a5 actually would have won material. Now, yeah, now it doesn't quite win material. Although there's still some pressure, some X-ray vision. Yeah, trading off. I have queen d6 here, but I'll trade off the other bishop. So 2 bishops against 2 knights. But the bishops are very happy to be staring at white's tender pawns. Still have to be careful. White wants to hurt me. So rook d8. Allowing knight d7, but I assume queen c6 or queen c7 there. Actually not the simplest. Like I want to break through somehow. And bishop c6. Idea to play b4 and not allow knight a4. Okay. Going for the expansion. Yeah, gradual progress here. And knight e2 obstructs a rook. And I'm not going to take the rook immediately. I'm still not going to take the rook. Or will I? Maybe I... Let's play this. I feel like the bishop is stronger than the rook. I want to play rook c8. I keep targeting the queen. Ooh, the double attack. Okay, it's attacking all of black's major, or all of white's major pieces in the final position. Question, why is the bishop stronger? Um, yeah, I mean, it controls so many squares in white's territory. And there are cases where I'll win material later. As we saw with this tactic, remove the guard. So yeah, generally, I mean, I can share what white should play in this line. Because usually the bishop should stay back before committing to e3. The best move is to castle. And then after knight f6, the most common move is queen e2, which runs into knight g4. And this is one of the reasons why I like this line as black, that it's so easy for white to go wrong here. And we can probably see in Lichess database, over 2,200 people played h3, which looks like a very natural move. But this position is black to move and find the winning move. And it's a really nice opening trap. I have both chats open. Let's see who's quicker between Twitch and YouTube. A lot of activity on Twitch. YouTube is a little bit slower. Thank you, Forbes Lister Bust. Yeah, most people in Twitch seem to be knowing the right move. A few people I see were suggesting h5, which does maintain the knight, but doesn't really win anything. Knight d4 is a crushing blow. Hitting the queen, but more importantly, trying to remove the knight, because if knight takes, it's mate. And if the queen moves, we take with check, and we still mate. So after knight d4, black is guaranteed to win the queen or to checkmate. Best defense for white is to take and get 2 knights for the queen, but black is much better here. If bishop takes is more accurate. So yeah, h3 would be a blunder. More common, what's more common? G3? Yeah, G3 is more common. But knight G4, it wasn't just intending to set up the trap. It aims to play knight E5 and trade off some minor pieces. A6 is useful to throw in, and eventually knight E5. So if you're white in this line, I'd recommend starting with castling, and after knight to f6, there's a strong move knight b5. It requires some study, but white basically forces queen b8 and then plays e5, and this can be a very powerful pawn sack. And it's very bad for black to take. And I mean, this is what should excite someone who plays a Smith-Morra. After knight e5, white gets full initiative, take, and rook e1. And the queen is tied down to defending c7. Queen's also attacked, so it has to move back to b8. And then queen d4. And yeah, white's just in full domination, threatening bishop f4. We can see the score in this position. I think a6 runs into bishop f4. d6 is a try, but then after bishop f4, still 3 attackers. If e5, there's rook e5. And then the queen is trapped. So there's always more layers to investigate when it comes to like learning the lines and openings like this. So anyway, hope that helps. Let's move on. Still got time. Playing Coast 9 Shka. Good luck to my opponent. Let's play a bird. I played the Grob, haven't played the bird yet. F4 and B3. Opponent pre-moving. I want to punish black in some way, but I'll just focus on developing. Yeah, we're both kind of doing our own thing, staying within our own territories. I really want to play g4. So maybe I'll play h3 and then g4. Black has a seemingly very solid setup. I assume bishop f6 is some idea. I think I'll play knight e4, idea knight g3, and maybe knight h5 later. Also discouraging bishop f6. So slightly down on time, but okay. Don't mind the position. e5 is interesting. Gives me some choices. I have knight f5. Knight f5, bishop f6. So maybe I'll play f5 and go for the structure with e4. Yeah, with the bishop combined with the knights, there's there's hopefully going to be a lot of attacking potential. I think the one downside is this bishop is not really serving much of a purpose. Gotta move a little bit quicker. I mean, if we trade, then the bishop can come to life. If we don't trade, then my bishop will be sad. Knight g5. Probably have to take. So now at least the bishop plays some role. Okay, it looks like I can take and then win e5. But the center is opening up, so this could get a little bit messy. Could take with queen as well. Maybe I will take with queen. Well, I win a pawn, so I wouldn't mind like simplifying and going into some endgame. If knight f4, probably king h2. Ooh, knight e3. Forgot about that move. Probably still king h2. Maybe king h3. So black could win the c pawn. Chooses not to. Gotta move a little bit quicker here. I think I want to play like queen d4. Oh, I missed bishop f6. Oh, but then I take. So maybe it's okay. A lot of pressure here. Oh, I missed bishop f6 again. Take, take. I'm going to have c3 though. Oops. What did I just do? I hung everything. Oh no. I just hung a queen. It could get messy. Opponent's very capable of pre-moving, as we saw earlier. Good move. Oh no, my king. Good game. Well played. Yeah, I think after bishop f6, I'm in some trouble. Queen c4 was a mix. I mean, it was mainly a brain slip. I think I actually it's still maybe okay after queen f4 if I just keep the attack on the knight. I was so fixated on trying to get the c3 move in. I guess there's an idea. Queen b4 takes and then c3, and the bishop is weirdly trapped. But then there's a5. I can't move my. I could play queen d4 or d7. I think queen f4 is a simpler option there. Okay, thankfully, that was casual. Didn't lose some rating there. Yeah, queen f4 only move. Oh, but in this position, c5, hitting the queen and bishop. Yeah, there's a lot to be concerned about. I feel like the valuation maybe jumped a lot. Ah, so bishop f6 was actually a blunder, allowing queen f4. Okay. Played a lot of games so far. I think fatigue is kind of setting in, but I'll try and finish strong. Playing Jefferson Adam. I haven't played the England Gambit yet, but this is rated, so also haven't played a Budapest Gambit yet. Playing a Budapest. Yeah, knight c3 and knight d2 are slightly different lines. With knight c3, it's more common trade, and then queen e7. Yeah, so white was defending the e-pawn. I'm going after the c-pawn now. And now I'm going back to going after the e-pawn. Yeah, I should be relatively pleased with the opening. Ooh, very tricky. So if I take, there's queen d3 hitting a few things. I don't know if that works though. Like I think I still get away with this. And there's some funny lines. I take some crazy lines, man. Take there. King e2. I'm calculating bishop f5. I don't think it works though. Like I want to make it work. I'll just start with rook e1 or rook e8. Yeah, I guess there's no reason to go too crazy here because I already have like a nice positional game against white structure. So the position just calls for sensible moves. Yeah, it's not so clear what white wants to do. Like takes would be fine. I think maybe now like queen a6. Or maybe I just take. Yeah, no need to delay taking the pawn. Okay, b6. Simple move to cover the b pawn. A2 is maybe the next victim. I think now I get away with taking on a2. When the queen was still here, there would be rook a1 and rook eb1. But now I'm hitting the bishop and up 2 pawns. There's bishop e4. Rook d8. Yeah, everything's defended. It's important the queen defends the bishop. c5 may be coming. Ooh. Am I in trouble? I think it's still okay. Like rook a1 is almost winning material. But after queen b2, I think I'm okay. Bishop b1. Okay, now I'm definitely okay. Yeah, I'm not sure if white had anything better there. Okay, basically just solidifying. Oh. Opponent resigned before I could take the bishop. Real quick, I want to check if white had anything there. And then maybe I'll share. I could share a fun line against the Budapest. After queen e4. Yeah, rook a1 was the move to play. Queen b2. Takes, and I'm losing some pawn. Or multiple pawns. And white's actually okay here. Yeah, maybe real quick, I'll share just a useful line. If you're white and you don't know what to play against Budapest, there's a nice line after knight g4 to play knight f3, which for most Budapest players, they're happy to see knight f3 because it allows bishop c5, forcing e3, and then knight c6, and white's winning back the pawn. But then there's a cool idea. I'm trying to remember it. What was the idea? Oh, yeah, it's bishop d2. Bishop d2 takes, and then bishop c3. And it's very easy for black to go wrong here. A lot of players will play d6. Maybe not quite the most popular move, but close to being the most popular move. Played 388 times. And d6 blunders a piece to b4. And after bishop here, either c5 or take and then c5. And the bishop's getting trapped. So, slightly offbeat line, but useful thing to know, especially for the shorter time controls. Okay, got time for maybe 1 or 2 more games. Random challenge. Newton in chat saying Eric was a programmer of Lichess, I think. Yeah, I have not contributed any Lichess code. I did study. I took a few computer science courses in college, and when I was a freshman, that was my planned major. But then I switched majors and pursued other things in coding. But kudos to all the Lichess developers and contributors for making the site what it is. Yeah, I'm more content focused these days than programming focused. Okay, I don't think my opponent is present. Wait, this is from position. This is my move? I was about to abort the game. This is from position. Oh, that's funny. Oh, is there castling? Looks like castling will be legal. Well, this is so confusing. So we have a Pierce. Is castling... So what my opponent did, they sent me a custom position where it's just black moves first. So we basically... It's basically as if I'm white, I think. I'm pretty sure casting is legal both ways because I can pre-move. I don't know if white can castle though. These custom positions. I wonder if there's a way to check. If I click from position, it will take me to the board editor. Oh! Okay, this is useful to know. I can only castle king side, but not queen side. I assume that refers to this position. Oh, that's so funny. So that's an interesting chess variant. Not sure why black had to be the one moving first. Bishop c5. So white, wait. Is white going to try and castle kingside? But white can't castle kingside. I'm confused also because I'm able to pre-move castling queenside. Let's play this move. If white can't castle kingside, it's already like really good for black. Because then the king is stuck. Oh, I just realized I just missed a really strong move. I could have played knight g4. I was scouting bishop f2, but I don't think that would have worked. Okay, let's just develop. I might go for this idea. I had a similar position OTB in Abu Dhabi against Jobava. Like he played this sort of black lion type setup. Yeah, it would be really cruel to like send me a challenge from position where I can't castle but my opponent can. In this game I realized because I had to figure out that black move first. So sometimes I don't realize it's like a custom position challenge. I want to target f2 because white can't actually castle to defend. I also want to see like Lichess is allowing me to pre-move castling queenside. But the board thing says I can't castle queenside. So what happens if I pre-move? Oh, that's good. Okay. So it didn't allow for the pre-move. That's really good. If I was able to castle, I would have lost a knight. So I can take on c3, hitting this and this. I could also castle on top of the rook. Or pre-move on top of the rook. I'm basically bug testing Lichess to make sure that the pre-moves will be rejected. Okay, let's take and then take. Oh no, my pawn. Wait, am I mating by force? White has like one or two moves to stop mate, like bishop e3 or knight d4. But this was a surprisingly hard threat to stop. Like the long distance queen journey, direct flight to f2. Hey, it's life master Arthur Braden suggesting bishop e2. Yeah, so I've looked at similar lines before. Sometimes bishop f2 will work, but in this case, I'm not sure if it works. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. It looks really attractive though. Like bishop f2, knight g4, knight e3 is guaranteed. And of course, if king f1 or king e1, it wins the queen immediately. But white has king g1. And then after this, 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 I think white is for choice. Because g7 is attacked, and I mean, I could take the rook and play rook f1. I'm so tempted to just ask Sockfish. But I'm pretty sure I've looked at this before, and I mean usually it's black who it's black and not white, but okay, it's the same position essentially. And yeah, well in this case white is better. Knight a1, rook f8, ed5. It's still playable though. What happened to Eric's normal channel? Yeah, I've decided to switch channels for a day, but don't worry. I'll be back on my own channel at some point. Um, but I figured it'd be cool to do one of these streams on the lichess.org channel. I think it's a slightly different audience. I'm sure there are, like a lot of the viewers will overlap across channels, but nice to get some people here that I haven't seen before. Um, I think this will be the final game because it's after it's been 2 hours that have passed. I've been live for 2 hours and 4 minutes. But we can look a little bit closer. Pretty sure I should have played knight g4 here. Yeah, because castling's not legal. uh, and if rook f1, oh, rook f1, there's a nice move. Rook f1, then bishop f2, and I trap the queen. Yeah, the Lichess chat is a little bit different than my chat too. It's just, I guess, slightly different vibes. Um, Apologies to people who I didn't get to play who were maybe waiting the whole time, but I mean, I had over 50 pending challenges, so there's a lot of demand. But I hope people learned a thing or two from these games. Be sure to follow lichess.org on Twitch and on YouTube, or subscribe on YouTube. And the raid is beginning. Yeah, big thanks to the mods too for making this a very seamless experience. And now it's time. I think it's time for me to like go outside and get some fresh air and maybe consume some food. Also, time to make more tea. Tea is dwindling here. So, thanks again to everyone for tuning in. And send some good vibes to Safki Chess. I'll see you guys in the future.